Good morning, all of you. Now let us start with our object-oriented programming in C++ class with our PPT. Just tell me what is a C++? C++ is a object-oriented programming language. It is has an enhanced version of C language. It adds the supports of OOP without sacrificing any C's power. That is, we we can add all the C programming looping structures, variables, state structures, union, everything in C++ with elegance and flexibility with the syntax of C++. And let us discuss C++ with the concept of let us then why is C++ introduced? We have tried that C++ is the uh, enhanced version of C. That means C is the subset of C++. C++ is introduced in 1979 by Jarnis Roster at Bell Labs in New Jersey. And the elements of a computer language does not exist in void. The C++ is highly integrated. Object-oriented and non-object-oriented programs can be developed using C++. It is a powerful way of approach of task programming. It encourages developers to decompose a problem into constituent parts. That is, we can develop OOPS language in C++ using bottom-up approach. We can really uh, we can really compare your real life problem into a simpler task, and then we can develop the task into major work, and we can combine more than two or three similar tasks into a single task. A component has become a self-contained object that contains its own instruction and data. So complexity is reduced that can manage large number of similar programs into a simpler one with a real life problem. Then what is a OOP? It is a common definition, that is encapsulation, polymorphism and inheritance. Encapsulation means the code and data can be together in a binded form. And polymorphism allows one interface and multiple methods. That is the ability to create more than one form. Inheritance. It provides hierarchical classification and it permits reuse of common code and data. There are two styles of C++ programming language as shown in the screen. See, a traditional slide is we can use include IO stream and the main program with int and the program code with a return 0 as the main function is an int main function. Another version is modern style. We can use using namespace standard. This is the new style of header. Use namespace is std is the standard header with the new style. It does not specify any file name. It specify the standard identifiers, IO stream, and this the files that header files are not might be mapped to the files by the compiler, but need not be mapped with .h, cmap, c string, or the string.h. The defined headers should end with programmer defined files only marked with .h, and we this is not needed with using namespace standard. The and we use a scope resolution operator, that is unary scope resolution operator. This is used to access the hidden global variable. In binary scope resolution operator is used to associate member functions so that we can it can be discussed it can be called call the member function of the predefined class, and we use to access the hidden class member variables with, and these files can be stored always with .cpp. A namespace is a declarative region. It is a localized name of identifiers to avoid name collision. The new style headers are placed in the standard namespace. A newly created class, function, global variables can put it an existing namespace, a new namespace, or it may not be associated with any namespace. So the console input and output operations can be done with cout and cin operator. In cout is the shift right operator. This operator produces an output to the screen. In general, this it is cout is with expression as shown in the last point of your screen is the C out with expression is the output operator, and this is the console output, that is the monitor. We can see it in the monitor. Whatever the text written in double quotes will be displayed in your output screen. Here, see out. This is like a polymorphism, right? So, and the similarly we can use C in with as the input statement. This is with scanf statement in C programming. Sorry. In general, C in is with extraction operator is called as a with a variable is the C in C++ console input operation. This is again a polymorphism. So we can get day, month, and year using the C in variable as shown in that screen. See. So the console operation we use, we see the first part of the screen is shown is simply with without using namespace standard, and the second with using namespace standard. We the same coding is std colon out is the enter the name of the string, or just we get a string and we use to display it in the screen. This is the program, and we get with a normal program and using namespace standard. This is the coding difference with both of them. And we can have comments in this C++ coding too. We can use more line multi-line commands and single line commands. Multi-line commands is similar to C programming command line, and a single line command is introduced in C++ only, that is double slash with each and every line we can use a command line for each and every line. What is the purpose of that command, what is the purpose of that specific line? And the general syntax for a class, in general we use C++ programming as a class and objects. A class is a collection of data members and member functions. That is, in general, we call the variables as data members and functions as member functions. So a class is a collection of data members and member function. So a class, the general syntax is a class is a keyword with a, we have to give the class name, that is the user defined name, with a private functions and variable belongs to that class only, and public is the data members and member function a collection with the object list, and which is optional. So a class is the logical declaration that defines a new type, and an object declaration creates a physical entity. A class is the logical abstraction of a new type of data, and object declaration a physical entity of that type. That object occupies memory space, but a type definition does not support. So each object of a class its own copy of the variable declared in the class, except a static variable which is introduced later. They all the same copy of member functions. Then what is the member function? This member function is similar to a C programming functions. Member function is belongs to a class only for the declared class only. We can use only the declared class members to, and we can use the function with a reusable code to some other classes by deriving using many types like front function and virtual function, etc. This will be discussed later. The difference between C and C++ we define Yeah, all the function must be prototyped in C++ and a function must declare a return value and in C++. A return types of all the functions must be declared explicit. It is C++ has a separate Boolean data type and a keywords with true and false. This is not seen in your C programming. And it, let us consider a function overloading. It is the mechanism of this is called as a compile time polymorphism. It provides the mechanism of one type of polymorphism, two or more functions that can share the same name as long as the types of the arguments differ or the number of arguments differ or in some type the type and the number of argument we pass to that specific program can be differ. This is called as function overloading. In function overloading, all the name of the functions will be similar and the type of argument or the number of arguments only we pass will be different, and similarly we get that return values. The compiler will automatically select the correct version of that specific function during that compile time, and how much arguments we pass we will get that respective result. This is not, the return type is not alone sufficient to different function overload because the compiler is automatically selecting the correct version. The return type is not only sufficient for function overloading. So uh, we have seen a partial list of C++ keywords. In this, like, please note it down in your note. So further rewind. These are all the C++ keywords specially used in C++ only. We can use all our C keywords here also. So this is only for C++, which is not present in your C programming language. Do you have any doubts? Please ask me. Have you noted down? Okay, then let us continue your class with the next class.